Welcome back, guys, to your mini-sode Tuesday series on A Dose for the Soul. Here on Double Dose of Raw Talk podcast, we are back to your regular programming with your favorite host, Misty. And let me just start off by saying thank y'all so much for being so real and allowing me 3 weeks of mini doses to just gather my life. I'm still gathering my life, y'all. Um, but I needed this. I needed this. I needed this. I needed this so much. It was perfect timing. It's exactly what was in high demand on this side of the mic. Um, like I did not think that I would need this much time with, just settling my kid down, first day of school. By the time y'all hear this, he is going to be ready for first day of school tomorrow. Excuse me for this being so late, but I have high demands. Nevertheless, it's still your Tuesday mini-sode series. And clearly y'all hearing my voice. Clearly the mindset has surely shifted. I am feeling much better. I had an amazing Labor Day weekend in which I shared so much time and memories with friends. It was so much needed. I mean, let me just say this, okay? If there is something that I just have learned so much time and time again, and it just continues to prove itself to be true, especially to my life, specifically to my life, is it matters. It matters who is around you and who you share memories and moments with. The older that I get, y'all know I'm still 35 and fine. I'm gonna be 36 in November, but the older that I get, I realize that the best memories are made when the phones are down, when we're not busy taking 1,000 selfies, when we are just there cherishing the moments, capturing those moments. Our eyes are paying attention, our ears are paying attention, we're listening to the side conversations, we're chiming in, we're eavesdropping, we're catching all these little jokes with people that honestly, like, I've seen them, right? They, the crowd that was there this weekend definitely made it out to my podversary show. But it was so nice to just host an event. It was so nice to feel like it was back to normal. I do tend to host the Labor Day weekend BBQ for the friends. But pandemic hit and all that shit changed. And it was just such a good feeling to be back to that. It was so amazing. Um, I cannot just thank y'all enough for allowing me the grace and the space that I've been talking about and that I've clearly was in dire need of it. But we're back, and it is your Tuesday mini-sode series, like I said before. And today, I want to hit a little topic. Now, I could tell you that I would save this for, this week's episode, but I'm not, because this week's episode, which is on Thursday, so make sure you come back with a pretty dope guest, highlights another part that is relevant to my life and is relevant to many people's lives, both men and women. And I wanted to chime in on a little messy topic. So make sure y'all come in to listen to that conversation, because it was out of control just a little bit, but also a strong message. So you definitely want to come back. But nevertheless, y'all excuse the background noise. The Bronx wants to be rude, but nevertheless, I want to chime in on something. And this is just a strong message. It's going to be a strong message, right? There's not a lot that I comment on political shit except, the fucked up system that we have, our Black and brown communities, LGBTQAI. You guys know I've touched on immigration issues, right? But there's other things that I don't really like to touch on, because sometimes it is beyond a quote unquote touchy subject, right? Primarily when politicians want to touch my uterus and want to touch my ovaries through laws. And the reason why I want to shine light on this is because the more I think about how life continues to evolve, right? I just made a statement and I said to y'all, as I get older, time and time again, right, things continue to just prove themselves to me, especially specifically to my life, right? This shit applies to the way the world continues to go south, hella fucking south. Like at this point, this entire fucking system and this country is just drowning. And I wanted to send out a message because I see so many people at odds about this. And just as a strong, vibrant, opinionated Latina, bold woman, right? Who on my platform we get real comfortable being uncomfortable and no topic is off limits. It would be fucked up for me not to bring this shit up and to really give you guys a deeper look into my soul about this topic. The fact that there is actually a state out there that has successfully dictated the right of a woman to have a choice, right? Whether to be pro-choice or pro-life. The fact that there are men out there dictating under what circumstance, which is basically none in this state, in this particular state, that a woman just cannot choose to not stay pregnant. And what's worse in all these days, the fact that there are actual people out there who agree with this bullshit is absolutely atrocious and disgusting to me. And this is what is wrong with the humanity we live in, right? It would be so fucked up for me not to touch on this because at the end of the day, this is a deeper look into my soul. And it's been something that has been hurting me. I have shared with you guys on this platform, if you guys go back several episodes, there was once upon a time where I miscarried a baby. I miscarried the baby before my son. And it was not a good feeling. It was probably one of the worst feelings in the world. I was very, very young when this happened. Well, not so young, but I was young. I thought I was a grown ass woman, right? I've said this before. I've said my life on this, moving out, doing my thing, live with a man, you know, prime of college. Like I just thought I was grown, right? And here I am making this bold decision, grown ass decision, and I'm pregnant. And I miscarried this baby. And it was traumatizing in itself to be that young, to feel like I'm going through this by myself, right? Who's gonna understand? Nobody. Like, or maybe some people do understand. But back in that time, we're talking well over 14 years ago, we really did not have this whole topic surrounding, miscarriages. And we really didn't have the topic by which to be a young woman. I was still a teenager, 19, to have a safe space to talk about this, right? So fast forward to marriage, baby, and then things start going south, hella south in this relationship. And, you know, throughout the process of separation, only separation, not divorce, in a really bad time of our lives, hateful time of our lives, unfortunately, for the third time in my history, birth control fails me and I end up being pregnant again. And so here is where I want to be very transparent with this. This doesn't change the faith that I grew up in. I have still, at that point, continued to pray. I have continued to have my beliefs. I lost my sense of faith, my in tuneness with my faith many years later with something completely unrelated to this part of my life. But at that moment of clearly still being on birth control, not planning at all to be pregnant again. I guess today we could say it was even irresponsible to be so back and forth with my spouse at the time. There was a situation where there was another pregnancy. And I decided not to move forward with that pregnancy. I made a choice. I made a choice at that moment, knowing that never mind, oh my God, being a single mother. No, because I was becoming a single mother anyway. Never mind the, oh my God, I'm still in school, because I knew I was going to finish school no matter what. What was my greatest concern at that moment, and let me be clear, I had already graduated school. I had already been a single mother at this point, because during the transition, we did go physically separate ways officially. The reason why I decided not to move forward with that pregnancy is because I felt at that point the one and only guilt that I did feel is here I am going to bring another baby into this world, right? Agreeing to this, and I'm going to raise two children, two, as a single parent. And not that it would be hard for me, but it would be hard for them. I'm already going to put one child through parents breaking up, parents not being together, having to grow up without his father physically there. And Lord knows what was going to await for me. And boy, did I not know what was coming years later, right? How was I supposed to subject another child to this, right? How was I supposed to just bring another child into the picture and agree to this? And without no say, right? I mean, again, birth control. Y'all, I will tell y'all, birth control really fucked me over. Failed patch, failed NuvaRing, failed birth control pills. Totally fail, all three. Okay? Shout out to the IUD. But I made a decision, and that was my decision. And it was something that I had to learn how to cope with, something I definitely discussed with my therapist back then. And it's something that I'm completely content with today. I feel that as a woman, and I feel that for many women out there, and even when not just a woman by herself, sometimes these are decisions that married couples make. Sometimes these are decisions that couples in general make. Sometimes these are decisions that couples on good times and bad times make. At the end of the day, who the fuck is the government or any politician or any man to decide or to dictate what is supposed to happen with my body at the moment that a pregnancy test says pregnant? Like, who ever thought that would be right or righteous can fly several kites and suck several penises? It is completely disgusting to me. And the reason why I felt that this was a moment to give a deeper look into my soul is because that was something that at some point was heavy on my soul. To know that I had once miscarried, to know that I had become a mom after that miscarriage, and I was lucky enough to have a rainbow baby, and then to be in a very tough spot, in a tough situation, at a terrible, horrible time of my life, and to have to make a choice for the greater good of my child that I had in front of me, for the greater good of an unborn child that I did not think it would be fair for that child to just come into the situation. At that moment, I actually felt like it was the most selfless point of my life, because if I was going to be selfish, I would be worried about, oh my God, what are people going to say about me? Oh my God, how do I tell my family, right? Like, how do I face them? No, I can't, tarnish this image of mine any further, right? No, I have to, if I based it on that, knowing what my first, well, my second in actuality, knowing what I was going to say, my first successful pregnancy, knowing what my son went through with separation, divorce, custody battle, just sharing custody, visitation, knowing what my son went through with that experience, I know today I made the right choice in not putting another child through that. I still, to this day, as much as I'm content with my life, I sometimes look back and I sometimes look at my child today and I wonder, how was it? Where did I make certain mistakes to have put my son through certain things, right? And I know it, I'm not, listen, I own my shit. I take accountability 1000%. Y'all are really getting a deeper look into my soul here. But I know I did the right thing by my son, who is 14 today and who is just amazing. And I say all of this to say, I don't know who's listening. I don't know who of you who is listening is pro-choice or pro-life. I don't know if there are any of you who actually agree with that ridiculous dictator fucking ship law on women's uterus and ovaries and pregnancy choices. I don't know who is out there listening that has actually agreed with that. But I do ask of you to just remember that some of us have had certain situations that have put us in a place to have no choice but to not go through with it. My situation was a very depressive moment, was a very tumultuous moment, was a separation followed by a very nasty divorce. For some individuals, it is a domestic violence situation. It is a sexual assault, rape situation. It is a decision of, unfortunately, health matters for themselves or for the unborn child. There are so many situations, And right now I'm advocating for a lot of my friends and family who have had certain experiences that have taken them to a matter of making a choice in a matter of a second of what to do for the greater good of their health or for their family. And all of this shit is just downright wrong. And so from the very beginning, you guys knew that this here show, Double Dose of Raw Talk, you know, I am your very bold, I am your very, vibrant Latina who's always going to say exactly what's on her mind and at the tip of her motherfucking tongue. I'm never not going to do it. And I felt that if I was going to honor anybody during this mini-sode Tuesday mini-sode series, it was going to be me. It was going to be my womanhood. It was going to be my motherhood. It was going to be my right to choose and my right to make decisions over my body. And for plenty of women out there who are right now, out in this state and are probably not knowing what the fuck to do in the moment that they are in this situation. I hope that this type of shit could possibly, by a miracle, y'all, because I definitely read into that law, by a miracle, change in that state. I'm just so disgusted I won't even say the state, but it begins with a T and it ends with an S. I hope it definitely never hits New York City, y'all, or any state that I may choose to move to, hopefully someday, if I find a mansion and I can afford it. That's me manifesting, y'all. And if anybody wants to be judgmental and actually decides to be judgmental and say anything absolutely hurtful under the comments in my DMs or in an email, go right ahead, do so. I will probably read it, and then I'm gonna send you to fly kites and I'm gonna tell you to go judge your mama, because at the end of the day, that's the type of energy I'm bringing to this Tuesday mini-so series. But at the end of the day, no one should ever have a right to tell anybody how to move and how to choose for their body. And let me just add this. Okay, contrary to popular belief, and this might still be unpopular opinion for the most part. Okay, y'all know I shared this before. I am absolutely vaccinated, okay, for COVID-19. But with the same token that I feel like we should not be mandating women not to have abortions, period, or you can go to jail for this, is the same way I feel we should not be mandating anybody on anything. Okay, let me just make that very, very clear for anybody who does want to come for me. But yes, I still made a choice there. I've made the decision of taking certain vaccines. I've made the decision now with a child who has the ability to comment and to be educated on things. I've made decisions for him to take certain vaccines, for him to get certain treatments, for me to get certain treatments. I feel that in life, when it comes to our bodies, our temples, something I've definitely advocated and manifested here and embraced here and preached here, that our body is our temple. We're supposed to take care of it. I do feel that by that same point, I should have a choice when it comes to my body. And it doesn't get any more raw than this, y'all. I came today, I maybe chose violence, I don't know, but if the concept here is for you guys to get a deeper look into my soul, this has definitely been heavy on my soul for a few days now, and I wanted to come on this mic and give you guys that front row to this moment. And again, just share with you guys that I'm definitely feeling much better. I have not found yet my therapist. As I mentioned before, I've been struggling with this ever since changing jobs. I was in a program with my last job, and with this job, it's a little different. I don't have that program anymore, so I would have to go through my insurance, and I have not been lucky enough to find that therapist. However, being that I do work in healthcare and being that I do have certain outreach, okay, certain resources available, I have had someone who to talk to recently. Yes, a professional. And I am ever so grateful for that. I am ever so grateful that I was able to just sit and talk to someone and that they have been able to help me through this new part of my life. And I hope to pretty soon be able to establish my usual therapy sessions and hopefully find my new person because I couldn't stay with my other person. But I'm hopeful. I'm feeling very much so positive these days. Staying healthy, staying cautious, taking precautions, and y'all come back on Thursday. The episode's gonna be hot. It's gonna be deep. It's gonna be intense. Y'all don't want to miss it. Such a dope guest, and we're officially back with guests. So, as always, it's a great time talking with you guys. As always, Tuesday mini-sode series on Double Dose of Raw Talk podcast with your favorite host, Misty, and I will talk to you later. Bye.